Thank you. So no introduction is needed. You see, estoy famoso. Me llamo? Ebenezer Scrooge. You see, this is my story. I dislike change. I've seen technology trends come. I've seen technology trends go. Now you tell me serverless computing? Well, you know what I say to that. Bah, humbug. My organization is fine just the way it is. Okay, sidebar. My real name is Chad Arimura. Thank you for having me. I understand how ridiculous this is. I'm reenacting as different characters. My time's a bit short today, so I'm going to go a little bit fast. Hopefully that's okay. And thanks for letting me hopefully entertain you as the first 15-minute keynote, maybe 20 minutes. Okay, I'm eating my soup. Who goes there? This is Jacob Marley, your old co-founder and CIO. I wear the chains I forged in life. I made them link by link, yard by yard. I girded them on of my own free will, and of my own free will I wear them. Jacob, what are you doing here? I'm here to warn you. I'm here to warn you of the path. You mustn't go down the path that I went down. Well, what path is that, Jacob? Your organization, Ebenezer, is not ready. It's not ready for the technical changes that are coming, and you must prepare your organization. I'm going to ask you some questions so that you understand. How long before new developers are shipping code to production? Does your organization have a culture of innovation? How are your developers the only ones able to actually implement new business ideas? Well, you see, this is strange because access to software engineers and talent is your number one constraint to success, to achieving your business goals. But before I go, I'm going to leave you with one big idea, and then you will be visited by three spirits. Serverless is bigger than cloud, and it will empower the next 1 billion developers to build. Bah, humbug. If we jumped on every tech trend, we would never have time to build anything. Must have been something I ate. I'm going to go to sleep. But sure enough, when the clock struck 1, Ebenezer was visited by the ghost of serverless past. Ebenezer, we're going to go on a journey together. Do you know what this is, Ebenezer? Why, yes. That's my sister Fan and I playing Legos. We loved playing Legos. We would play for hours, even though the pieces would get lost. Do you know what this is? Do you remember this, Ebenezer? Well, yes, that's HyperCard. I learned to program on HyperCard. It was so much fun. I would spend hours all by myself in the lab when I was a child. Yes, bulletin boards, where one visitor could come to my bulletin board at one time, depending on how many phone lines I had. I would spend days upon days building and rebuilding my bulletin boards. Oh, the config.sys. I spent so much time toiling with my operating system just to get my games to work. Do you remember your buffers were never high enough for MechWarrior to work? I remember. The buffers were just never high enough. And this is you playing games, LAN games. You had so much fun where 4 or 5 people could be in the room at one time. And this is how you listen to your audio. 30 minutes per side. Hopefully the tape doesn't get destroyed because you would never be able to listen to that again. The Encyclopedia Britannica, where you learned. You would educate yourself, and hopefully it didn't become out of date because then you're in trouble. You see, your generation learned to build, connect, and consume with a deep connection with a finite physical world. Okay, but who cares? You will see when you're visited by the next 2 spirits. You must sleep. And when the clock struck 2, he was visited by the ghost of serverless present. Ebenezer, we're going to go on another journey to today. Do you know what this is? Why, yes, that's Minecraft. That's where the children are learning to build. This is their Lego set. It's a virtual world online where they can build with their friends. And this is where they're learning to program, Scratch, where thousands upon thousands of people can see your work. You can even remix other people's work. It looks a lot like forking from GitHub. Pretty ironic, huh? And this, Instagram, Facebook, this is where they're learning to connect today. And this is your LAN game now. Hundreds of players at one time across thousands of games playing these games. I don't even know what's going on here. Fortnite, they're dancing and killing. It's crazy. And this is your Encyclopedia Britannica, where instant access to everything you want off one website, where you can learn anything instant, on demand. This is your content. This is how you're consuming. It's incredible now how much information is in just your hand. That's the generation of today. They don't even know how to save documents. Ben Thompson's daughter, she lost a document because she was used to Google Docs, which automatically saves it. And she moved to Word. She had to save it. She didn't understand. She was befuddled by the idea. You see, this generation, they're building, connecting, and consuming differently. It's through an infinite digital world and a loose connection to it. The times are changing, Ebenezer. But what does this have to do with serverless, and why are you talking about all this? You will see with the visit from the ghost of serverless yet to come. But before I leave, serverless is bigger than cloud, and it will empower the next 1 billion developers. All right, I'm going to sleep. Give me the next one. And then he woke, and a spirit arrived, the ghost of serverless yet to come, simply pointed, and an object appeared out of nowhere. What device is this? They're out there. You can talk to it in any language, and it will respond. But not only respond, it will order you pizza. It will call your friends. It will access your calendar. Unlimited opportunities just by interacting with your voice. Unbelievable. And it's powered by Amazon Lambda, Google Cloud Functions. Gratuitous plug for the FN project, which is an open source serverless platform that you can deploy to any cloud. See the session right after this keynotes. And non-developers are building integrations using things like IFT, where they can build massive workflows without ever writing a line of code. Non-developers are also building database-backed applications where they simply define the schema and build the app using WYSIWYGs and graphical interfaces. And it will access the most powerful artificial intelligence in the world, where it's piping in a Google Cloud Vision API right into Airtable through an API, all without writing a line of code. Very powerful. And when you want to actually write code, you can invoke functions directly from Airtable. And you can connect it to anything else across the web. It's an incredible day where anything can be interacted through APIs. Whoa, this is interesting, but why do you tell me this? Well, because the times are changing. Applications have driven infrastructure in a cycle where infrastructure improved to build future applications, and then in a cycle, those continued to iterate over time. And that's how we evolve. But now we're in this amazing time where the application is becoming the platform. There's a convergence. Small companies are doing amazing things. Instagram, 13 employees sold for $1 billion. Niantic, 500 million downloads for Pokemon Go, 16 team members. Really incredible. A lot of predictions that say the next $1 billion startup might be a single developer with a single function. So serverless is a mindset, a culture. The next phase, it's all of those things. It's the next phase of development driven by the 3 trends that we've been talking about. First, the generational changes in the way they're building and connecting and consuming. Second, the availability of everything as a service across the web. And finally, the emergence of apps becoming infrastructure and vice versa. See, Ebenezer, your organization is not ready for this phase. And because of that, you are totally in trouble. No, tell me I will not be on effed company. I will honor serverless in my heart for today and all year. I will strive. The spirits of all 3 shall strive inside of me. I will honor them all year. Please tell me, ghost of serverless yet to come, that I may sponge away the writing on effed company. And Ebenezer awoke in his bed. He was alive. Boy, what day is it? Why, sir, today is Codemotion Madrid. Codemotion Madrid? My company is alive. We must tell the world what's coming. Let's come together as an ecosystem and focus on next-gen infrastructure to empower the next generation of developers to build using serverless technologies. Let's build better scaffolding, automation, and guardrails around the entire software delivery pipeline. We must avoid unnecessary complexity because every software project eventually becomes a bunch of logic hidden by a bunch of code to integrate JSON together. And we must embrace everything as a service and build bridges using interop standards like cloud events. And we must embrace the serverless mindset. We must do this all with a new imperative, a moral standard, because let's not forget about the next generation of creators who are learning to build, connect, and consume using entirely different models. Together, we can unleash the creativity of your entire organization, and we must empower the next 1 billion developers to build. Thank you very much.